We have been talking about the Battle of Franklin, and this morning we were right here at Carnton. So that was in the last video. If you haven't had a chance to watch that, go back and see it. All kinds of extremely cool stuff. And in that, we talked about how the Confederates were coming up from the south, launched this march across open ground, got completely cut to ribbons, and now we are getting ready to go right here to the high water mark of the Confederate attack and the Battle of Franklin at the Carter House. Well, I just arrived here at the Carter House. So this is just a couple of miles from the spot that we were just at. And as you can see, that might be a little bit bright behind me, but this kind of sets up on a high place. And the Carter House is right here. So in the next video, we're going to come back and kind of look at some of these structures here at the Carter House in depth. But anyway, this spot represents the high water mark of the Battle of Franklin. So this is as far up as the Confederates got, and then we're just absolutely decimated. The Battle of Franklin Trust has done some amazing things as far as reclamation and preservation in this area and kind of bringing back the history. So we're going to kind of take a look at the grounds around here and explore some of the stories from the end of the Battle of Franklin. All right, before we go out to the battlefield section, I wanted to look at some of the artifacts that they have in their museum. I always like looking at some of these old relics. So here are some different bits. Looks like some different tools. I'm not exactly sure what all of these are. Fortunately, they have some descriptions. A hoof knife. Okay. Whenever you look at some of these old artifacts, kind of like this saber here, kind of brings home the reality of it, something tangible that you can look at. Yeah, very cool. Now, I'm sure that we will see this spot whenever we're out there, but at the Carter House there was a cotton gin, so you can see a picture right here. That kind of formed a little bit of a salient in the Union battle line, and it's no longer there, but they have some planks of wood with bullet holes in them from that old cotton gin. Interesting. Looking forward to going out and seeing where that thing was. So there was a Confederate soldier by the name of Tod Carter that grew up here at the Carter House and found his way back during the Battle of Franklin, was mortally wounded, and they have a bunch of his possessions here. So here's his wallet. They also have the sword that belonged to Tod Carter, some stirrups and straps that belonged to him, but probably the craziest thing is they have the dadgum bullet that was lodged in his head. My goodness. Now, if you look right here, you can see it's kind of a berm that has been recreated to show where the reserve line was here at the Carter house. So this was the Union position. But if you go up here, whenever they were excavating right here at the Carter house, they were able to dig lines that went kind of perpendicular to the Union trenches. And anywhere, whenever you come to this place, anywhere you see these gravel lines, well, that is where a Union entrenchment was. So this is where the Union soldiers would have been set up, looking towards the south, so the Confederates would have been coming up from this direction. And yeah, like I said, this is where the high water mark was for the Confederates. Something else that's kind of interesting about this particular spot is there was a soldier who had been awarded the Medal of Honor at Lookout Mountain, and he was fighting here at the Battle of Franklin, was making an attempt to get the regimental flag from the Confederates, got wounded in the process, and that soldier's name was Arthur MacArthur, and he is the father of Douglas MacArthur. Got wounded 3 times right here. The Battle of Franklin Trust really has done a remarkable job at reclaiming and preserving this area. So right now, I'm at the site of a field where some vicious fighting took place. Now, a lot of the battlefield here at Franklin has been covered up in concrete and houses and development over the years. And this spot right here used to be the location of a Domino's Pizza. But thanks to generous donations and the hard work that these people are doing, we can come back here and get a little bit better idea of what happened here at the Battle of Franklin. Pretty cool what they're doing here. I'm just across the street from the Carter house right now, and if you look right in here, you can see the line of entrenchments for the Union forces that were fighting here at Franklin. And if you walk over here, you notice that the line is actually forward of the one that I just showed. And the reason for that is because there was a huge obstruction that anybody who fought at the Battle of Franklin talked about, or at least that was at the Carter house. They would talk about the cotton gin. There was a 2-story cotton gin that was located right here. And whenever the Battle of Franklin Trust reclaimed this area, they excavated this and actually found the original foundation. And then that battle line had to be put in front of that cotton gin. Pretty cool, and they never would have known it had they not reclaimed this area. Well, I am back here where we started at Carntan, and after the battle there were soldiers who were just buried all over this battlefield. Well, the owner of Carntan, a guy by the name of McGavick, arranged to have all of these soldiers dug up and reinterred right here behind his house. There's just under 1,500 Confederate soldiers that are buried here. So pretty sobering to walk these grounds and think about the cost of that war. And this is just a small corner of it. But I am so glad that we came here, because this place is legitimately amazing. Whether you're a fan of history or especially Civil War history, I've just been blown away at everything that I've seen here today. Got a little bit more that we're going to show back at the Carter house though in the next video. Amazing place.